How's it going, YouTube? I want to just do a quick discussion. Hopefully, this won't be that long for everyone, but I thought this was important since this has been a crazy thing that's been happening all across the country. These teen takeovers. I know a lot of this happened during like summer break and stuff like that, but not too long ago, like last week, there was teen takeovers here in Texas, and yeah, this has just been something that's been going on all around. Here are some like the news segments that y'all can see regarding some of these takeovers.
Owner in the south suburbs says that enough is enough. She is tired of teens coming in to cause chaos inside of her restaurant.
Yeah, she says they've had food fights, they have walked on tables, they have vandalized the store. So after posting video of some of the incidents online, the owner received help from community leader Early Walker, who called on parents to step up and take responsibility. Christian Farr has that story.
I love my job. I put a lot of sweat and tears.
Owner Dondria Murray worked hard to become the first black woman to own a Culver's franchise restaurant, which is located in South Suburban Madison. But her pride turned to disappointment when she had to make this post.
I made the post because I have been trying to get the kids to behave at my restaurant.
The ongoing problem would happen when students got out of school and would then gather at her Cicero Avenue restaurant.
They come in inside the lobby while my guests are trying to eat. They're being disrespectful. They're having food fights. They're tearing up the bathrooms. They're basically being disruptive.
This is not an administration problem. This is not a trustee problem. This is a where are the parents problem.
Businessman and philanthropist Early Walker saw Murray's post and echoed a message that the restaurant owner put in her original post, that parents need to speak to their children about this issue.
This is the post we saw about a potential teen takeover happening here. It says McDonald's Takeover Tuesday starts at 3 p.m., ends until we get kicked out. Now, this did not end up happening, but there was a large police presence on scene in the case it did, a sign that law enforcement is ready to respond to these incidents.
A trail of terror Monday in the form of teens. A crowd of them seen rushing the streets around Bay Plaza Mall, ending with people in handcuffs and smashed windows.
We got about 200-300 kids just running back and forth, jumping on cars, just fighting, taunting the police. And it got pretty bad to the point me and my team actually witnessed the little boy actually getting stumped out.
Yeah, this is just one of the many videos of wild brawls happening in the deep blue city of Chicago. Authorities are now sounding the alarm on teen takeovers by issuing a curfew enforcement. So far, 8 teens have been arrested, with an additional 24 getting hit with a curfew violation. It's not just happening in Chicago. Take a look at our nation's capital, suffering from a similar teen takeover, which eventually escalated to gunfire. And earlier this month, Los Angeles also erupted into similar takeovers involving unruly crowds blocking intersections, performing illegal car stunts, and vandalizing buildings. One rowdy group even stormed a luxury apartment building, damaging the property and attacking the staff.
Teen gatherings fueled by social media caused problems in at least 2 North Texas cities last weekend. Now another city is on alert after posts online warn of a possible teen takeover. Meredith Yeomans has more on how officials are trying to get ahead of the disruptive trend.
Out of control crowds,
You gotta stay
fights, and arrests. Scenes playing out in 2 North Texas cities. And now Mesquite police say they're working to make sure it doesn't happen there.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why these kids are gathering like this, why they're being destructive, but it's absolutely unacceptable.
In Salina, police say a social media post drew hundreds to a house party Saturday night. Police shut it down as chaos erupted and arrested 2 people. In Forney, a so-called teen takeover at a park with a large crowd gathering after social media posts spread, again leading to a disturbance and several arrests. And in Mesquite, posts are now promoting a similar takeover of Town East Mall.
Basically just show up, and sometimes it says bring your drama, sometimes it says don't bring your drama.
Lieutenant Michael Kelly says Mesquite police are working with mall security and neighboring businesses to try to stop a problem before it starts.
I think it's very interesting because everyone is trying to look for someone to blame. And I definitely been looking for someone to blame when it comes to these takeovers and these kids running wild and going crazy, being destructive, being very just violent and malicious. Yeah, the head person you can blame, of course, is going to be the parents. I understand people want to take other people accountable, not the parents, but it's hard not to have the top blame on the parents due to a lot of different reasons. As you can see, a lot of people in these news segments do state parents should be watching out for their kids and looking out what's happening, what the kids are doing, and punishment should be given. I know not every parent condones the actions and stuff these kids are taking, or they would condone the actions their kid would take. And so punishments would definitely be harsh. Definitely should be harsh. But this is something you should keep your eye on your kids about. When it comes to what they're doing and social media and stuff like that, you think that this would be a given. And I had a little like social media argument with someone regarding these kids. Now these kids, if you see the videos, yes, majority of them, a lot of these videos look like black kids. Yes, a lot of them in certain areas are black kids, but I've seen videos where you have different mixtures of race. I've seen some white kids, I've seen Hispanic kids and stuff. But yeah, majority of the ones you do see are black, which is sad enough. But it's just something that I like harp on. This is gonna be for every parent though, but I definitely like strongly say this for the black community. But it's definitely for everyone because a lot of people have this issue with not paying attention to what their kids are doing. But I had this argument with someone on social media where there was a video where someone responded to the video stating, I guess it was like an adult not having anything to talk about with a kid. So it was a actor, I want to say two actors. One was underage and one was an adult. And there's like, what do you want a actor on the off time of not like in the scenes and stuff like that to say to a kid, what, you know, whatever. And the topic was just not prying into kids' lives or prying into what kids do, because who the freak cares about what kids do. And I said the only ones who probably like, they said what grown man would care about what a kid does and what they have going on in their lives. I was like, well, the only ones as far as just a grown man that you should care about is your own kids. As far as what they got going on, you should be prying into their social media, what they have going on in their lives, who their friends are, stuff like that. But that's both parents. It's not just like father's responsibility. It's both parents that needs to know what the heck is going on in their kids' lives. Whoever lives with the parent, whoever the guardian is, whoever lives with the kids, they need to know. And so there was like pushback. Oh, it's obvious. It's obvious that that's what grown men do. There's no reason for you to state that when that's the obvious thing you should. People already know what their kids are doing. No, they don't. a lot of parents don't pay attention to what the hell their kids got going on, or what the hell their kids do, what the heck they see, what they're doing on social media. If I seen anything on my child's phone or anything that references them doing bad behavior or talking to adults or anything that would lead them into so much trouble, their ass would be grass. I'm sorry, they would be in so much trouble. My child, you think that I'm not going to pry into what the freak you got going on in your life? Is part of protection especially as a man, but as the parents, as adults, that's part of protecting your kids, is knowing what the freak is happening with them, because kids tend to be so naive. Kids tend to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and they think that what they're doing is the right thing, and they're so hard-headed when it comes to things. They don't know what the consequences are that leads up to what the freak they're doing because they haven't experienced life heavily. So they just have all this information. They think they know it all, and that leads them to trouble. And that's kind of like the sentiment you hear with these videos. Kids is like, oh, I was just bored and I wanted something to do, or they're expressing themselves and stuff like that. They're using their voices.
You know why people are doing this?
Because they just bored. Like, they don't got nothing to do, and they just want to have some fun, I guess, on a break. It's school out right now for the whole week. So
Mount Vernon student Zion Watkins has seen the posts online promoting even more teen takeovers at businesses and public spaces around the area.
Target over here, Cross County.
I think these kids need to get their butt whipped. These parents need to step up and pay more attention to the kids and whip their butt.
I feel like teenagers want to have a voice and do their own stuff, but it isn't right to have your own voice like this.
Huh? Using their voices to terrorize and destroy property, destroy things for no apparent reason. There's no voice. There's no voice in that. There's no reason for you to destroy people's property. What in your mindset do you think that will be a correct course of action? That this would be okay to do? That this would be a right thing to do? Makes no sense. Kids do so many stupid things. And yeah, this is definitely one that I'm like, is one of the stupidest things you can do. Kids are running wild, and we need to pay attention to what our kids and stuff are doing. Especially in the black community, when you see these kids and stuff, it seems like they don't have any guidance. And they do so many horrible stuff. There was the one story of these girls that went to a cake shop and they stole a cake and terrorized the girl there because they had beef with the girl. That is not how you handle situations. I don't care if you have beef with the girl or what happens with the girl. You do not go into the shop where she works at and terrorize the shop. That is just something you don't do. You take that out of any businesses. You take that out of anything. If you have to handle something to where you need to talk to someone about it, I wouldn't say the violence would be the answer. But if y'all need to talk it out, then just talk it out. I don't understand why that has to be the case, that violence would have to be your course of action, or terrorizing a store while someone's working there because you feel slighted in some way. It makes no sense at all. And then you see a lot of these parents and stuff, they're just about as ratchet as anything else. So you understand where they're getting it from. They don't have good guidance. Shit's crazy to me. We feel like violence is the only course of action because we always feel slighted. Is crazy. And it shouldn't be the answer. It definitely should not be the answer all the time. And yeah, it's just one of the things I was wanting to talk about because I've been seeing this like ridiculously when it comes to kids and stuff. And we need to do better with this. They need programs. They need some outlets to do that would keep their minds busy, that's productive, that's structural, that would help them as a person, as an adult when they get older. They need those type of outlets. They don't need these violent, crazy, ridiculous outlets. And the fact that their parents isn't prying into or knowing that they're doing this stuff or have this stuff going on, involved in this stuff. And if they do know, punishment should be very heavy. Punishment should be very heavy on these kids. Hopefully they're getting that punishment. Because sometimes they slip through the cracks and they go out and go wild and be with their friends, and that does happen. And then they get themselves into trouble. That's when you really just gotta harp on them and just jump, just really harp on them on the facts of what these stuff can lead to, and give them the punishments that's deserved for these type of acts, But those are just my 2 cents. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this topic, my thinking, and stuff that I'm saying. Y'all let me know.